occasion. I'll read that again. For an occasion like this, I want to make sure I keep up the traditions of being a best man. Apparently I need to get the groom to the church on time, tick.
Well, you've joined us on another very chilly night, but also a very celeb-fueled one here on the red carpet in Leicester Square. And we're here tonight, very excitingly, for a British film for once. So apparently it could actually be the next Notting Hill. That would be awesome. We're here for I Give It a Year. So you have a very lovely English accent in this film. How did that come about? How much work was that?
I was so nervous, you know, I hadn't done an English accent like that for years, and this was like a very specific middle-class London girl, so it was really, it was a lot of work. Training 3 weeks, an hour a day, every day on set, my guy was there.
Anyone who inspired you with the accent?
Oh, I've got a few girlfriends who did, yeah, absolutely.
You get completely naked in this film, don't you?
I do, yeah.
How was that? That took some nerve.
Well, you know, I was given no choice. I was drugged, taken into a room, stripped off, and people took pictures of my willy. And now here I am at this weird thing with like all people taking photographs and that. It's really weird.
At least that's not out tonight, though.
No, that's not out tonight.
How will it be seeing it on the real screen, the big screen?
Well, it's quite a thing to see your willy on a massive cinema screen.
Yeah. It might help.
And it's forever. Yeah, it's distinctly embarrassing.
Now this film, it almost starts with where every other rom-com finishes off. So every other rom-com finishes with a wedding, happy ever after, but this isn't happy ever after.
Oh no. Well, I mean, it sort of is ultimately, you know, not that I want to spoil it for anyone, but, you know, it is, you know, some people say it's an anti-rom-com, but it's not, because, you know, I don't want people to think that it's in any way kind of, you know, bitter or unhappy. It's just about, you know, what happens once that fairy tale marriage, that fairy tale wedding has occurred. You know, and I think, you know, lots of relationships, even in real life, they concentrate on the wedding rather than the marriage, and actually, you know, that's kind of the wrong way round. So, you know, romantic comedies put ill-suited couples together and abandon them at the moment of their wedding. That's the point of where I think it actually becomes interesting. You know what I mean?
And do you think it says something about British relationships? Would Americans perhaps not be so honest and brutal about these things?
Well, I think, you know, Americans like things to be happy and look nice, and, you know, and sort of don't like to be upset in any sense. So I think, you know,
we love to be upset.
Yeah, you know, British people are all cynical and, you know, and twisted and you know, and hate life. So hopefully, you know, this reflects that.
Jolly message. Now this film's about a couple of weddings that go a bit wrong. What's the secret to a good marriage?
That it's not always good. That's the secret. You know, we assume that it's always good. It's always good sort of in hindsight, but there's always, you know, there's always challenges, and it's just kind of, I don't know.
Dealing with those.
Meeting those challenges together, yeah?
Now I'm going to call this an anti-rom-com.
Okay, you could do that.
Can I do that? Now what drew you to do something like that, get involved with a project like that?
Well, it's funny. I think it was as simple as that. I quite liked the idea of something that played around with conventions. I mean, I like romantic comedies. I think they're charming, but they're often charming at the expense of real belly laughs. And this one was funny. I just thought it was an opportunity to make people laugh. So that was enough.
And could it be the next Notting Hill / Four Weddings?
I don't know. Or could it be the next Borat or Bruno? I don't know. I think it'll just be the next I Give It a Year. But look, I would love it to be beloved and successful, but mostly I just want people to laugh.
Cool. I really think it will be hugely successful. It looks lovely.
Your lips to God's ears.
Exactly. Right, enjoy. Congratulations on the funniest best man speech thing I've ever seen.
Oh, that's sweet of you. Thank you.
Now, have you ever done one in real life?
I have done one in real life, and it did not go as badly as this, I'm pleased to report. But yeah, when you're a comedian, it's hard because people have real expectations. And I went to this wedding and I had to get the best. I was nervous, I was shaking, I didn't have any drinks. I could go on stage and do 2,000 people performance in front of people at the Hammersmith Apollo. Doesn't worry me.
But a wedding?
Are you kidding me? With some old ladies? Some of the toughest audiences.
Scary.
Yeah, and I get a lot of people coming up now, giving me tips afterwards, giving me a verdict.
And all your mates must want you as best man now.
I dread the idea of being asked to be the best man. When he asked me, he almost got down on one knee to ask me to be the best man, and I wanted to say no. I'm sorry, I don't want to do it. It's too
much.
Responsibility, yeah.
Sorry?
What drew you to the role?
Oh, well, I was part of it at some read-throughs, and so I just thought, I have to be part of this. This is the funniest script. And then, and it was really interesting just like watching it evolve. But what drew me to the role, just being able to have fun and work with really amazing comic actors and learn a lot from them and just tease Rafe a bit in my scene. That was quite fun.
We're from Les Miserables, The Miserables, to now a particularly funny film. How have you been so chop and change?
Yeah, it's not just me, it's everyone at Working Title, but I think we wanted to make them miserable and now we want to cheer them up, basically. No, it's, 2012 was a very busy production year for Working Title, and we had these projects don't come together overnight or in a year. We developed them, for several years, and they just all happened to come together at the same time.
You've been watching The Fan Carpet. I hope you've enjoyed. I'm Rachel Mullins. See you soon.
Digital photo frame.
We've got a camera on us, we'll have to try it out later.
So that's Morocco, that's the hotel, and that's...
Oh, that's doggy style.